Page 2. Regret. A year had passed, and most time Kay wondered where Shoya is, where Shoya went. Is he living well? But he knew no one could ever answer his questions. His wishes did come true. Akitaru and he got along well now. It was as if their relationship never went into trial or wrong. Even Yamaguchi confessed to him, but after dating him for a month, Kei realized it was wrong. Everything is wrong. He wanted Shoya back. He wanted the friend, the love he had for Shoya. He wanted his beloved back. Not even himself could explain why he felt like this. He knew Shoya over 2 weeks. Do humans fall this easily? He trapped himself in a bubble of denial and confusion. He could never rewind time, but if he could, he would take the chance to understand the fairy over again, even beyond what he knew. Love was confusing. These things took him months to understand. Now he was in his 3rd year. Long those memories of the dear fairy were ever forgotten. One day, as the new recruits started to pile up, volleyball that he had quit a year ago, there he saw the fairy, standing among them, but he was different. The guy was bigger, human bigger. Clearly it wasn't him, but Kei's reasoning was forgotten as he had run to the guy, tackling him to the floor, and he began to cry. It's him, his beloved. Who are you? His heart shattered hearing that question as he was pulled by Tadashi and Tobio. Long he had loved, our dear Shoya could not recognize. Shattered by those words, he began to question. Maybe that was not his beloved. Observation kept him busy. His eyes always wandered toward the ginger underclassman he had just met. One reason for everyone to think he was a creep, but he did not care. Long that person started to befriend him. The ginger who looks like the fairy, acts like the fairy, loved like the fairy. Heck, they even have the same name. He couldn't convince himself that he wasn't it. Staying with Shoya was torture. Every time he tried to convince himself, it was breaking his heart. Tsukihina-san? What? Kei gazed at him, those stoic eyes that held love. Would you listen to a story? Hinata, you came here to study. You have a test coming, remember? Would you just listen first? I promise I will study if you do. Fine. Okay, here it goes. There once was a lonely fairy living in the forest of his own. His kind hated him, for he was not normal. His father was a human, but his mom was a fairy. Therefore, he was born as a fairy but could never have what a fairy usually has. He did not have the ability to transform into a human. He didn't have a gem stuck in his body as his identity. But he wasn't less powerful. He had the power to grant wishes. At the age of 8, his parents died. The little fairy was left alone and had nowhere to go. He wandered through the forest, finding a nest where he could sleep. But instead, he met a human along the way. A child as beautiful as the moon. He was touched, but he knew he had to leave. He promised the young child to see him again, but it took him 6 years to reunite. He was dying, so he decided to at least grant the child's wish. Although he didn't think that the child would ever forget him. The fairy died after sticking to the child for more than 2 weeks, when he finally granted the wish. Shoya stared at Kei, who looked confused, inflicted, hopeful, and doubtful. How do you know this? Tell me, Chima-san. Do you believe in being reborn? That last wish of yours, it brought me back. What? Shoyo? I'm back.